aún no va a empezar el curso, está la gente conectándose. Entonces es momento de si alguien quiere comentar algo.
We aren't going to start yet, but if it's a good moment, if you want to share something or if you have any doubt, any hesitation, just that's the moment. Because a lot of people were in the course with Shivagam, so you're going to feel the change now.
Hola a todos. Hola Nekane. Danda, Nana. Hola.
Hola.
Seguimos el orden. Estamos
Keep the order. We are following the order that how the energy moves in the body. From the beginning, there was a knowledge, which is called a nictemeral cycle. In this cycle, nictemeral cycle, is when the energy goes through the termian circuit or meridian, helps to clean, to process this organ. Last week we saw stomach, that was from 7 to 9 a.m. From the beginning, the doctors, when they ask you at which time are you in pain. That was not a random question. It's a question because they wanted to know about which organ could be an influence on it. If you work in an hospital, you know that people that has stones in the kidney or a kidney infection at 6 in the afternoon, they have a fever peak. That is because the energy of the kidney, when the energy is in the kidney, with the set, when the energy goes through the meridian of the kidney and cleans the kidney organ, is from 5 to 7 p.m. Is all the energy is in a peak at 6. So if you have a problem in the kidney, it's going to appear this fever at 6 in the afternoon, in the evening. Okay. So one of the things that you learn is at which time are you in pain. Each organ has a way, a moment. As when you are sleeping at 3 a.m. or 2 or 4, you wake up. From 1 to 3 is liver. From 3 to 5 is heart. So in this time is all the anger that you have, and your system cannot clean or all the sadness, and it's the moment that you want to go to the bathroom or you want to drink or move, because the movement generates energy. This is the way that naturally your body gives you energy. We are talking about illnesses or dysfunctions, conditions. It's not that you have an illness, it's that something is not working properly. Your body is giving you clues about what is happening. The spleen, the cleaning time is from 9 to 11 a.m.
Bueno, el bazo y el páncreas, los dos.
Spleen and pancreas, both.
¿Vale?
Okay.
Así que su
So
pico más alto
the
es
peaker,
el de
the
la
peak,
mañana.
is at 10 a.m.
Igual como el estómago,
As the
más
stomach,
o menos lo identificamos dónde está.
we more or less identify where it is.
El bazo y el páncreas es más complicado.
Spleen
porque
and pancreas is a bit more complicated because
si no es que eres sanitario, nunca has tenido que ver dónde
you
está.
never you have never seen where it is, except if you are a doctor or
A ver si puedo
work on
compartir
health.
para que
I'm going to
podáis
share
ver,
it for you to know.
Muy bien. Vemos una mujer.
We can see a woman.
Eso es el corazón.
That's the heart. That's lungs. Those are the ribs. This area here, so big, is liver. Is the liver. If you have never seen the size of the liver, it's just below the ribs, but it arrives until here. One of the proofs, the medical proofs that they do when the liver is too fat or any problem, they hit in here. If it's too much fat or there is toxicity is going to be bigger and is going to stack the intestine and is going to provoke intestine problems. This small ball here is the biliary vesicle. So if there is a lot of toxins or the liver is in pain, not only what we eat or drink is as well emotional toxins. And people that have cirrhosis and they never drink or smoke or nothing, is just an emotional problem. Remember, the liver is not the organ of the rage. Is the organ that is more attacked when there is too much emotion. When we talk about the spleen, it's not the one of worries. It's one of the ones that is more attacked or hard with the excess of negativity or preoccupation. The spleen and as well the pancreas. But to draw the spleen, here is the stomach, here is the liver, and it's just on the back. Is on a side and in the back of the stomach. I'm going to show another one. In this one, you can see as well the pancreas. Where it is. All this is behind the stomach. The stomach is here. Spleen is behind and attached to the pancreas. And this is duoden. We're going to see with another image. because now it's going to be easier for you to see. It's going to be more visual. You can see that's the pancreas, and that one is the spleen. Can you see the liver, how big is this? If you couldn't imagine how big it is, that's the stomach, and in the back is the pancreas, and here is the spleen. Just a bit more images for you to realize. This one is from one side. If you move the elbow, is the point in the tip of your elbow is the position of the spleen, more or less. This lower point of the spleen is where the elbow is. This is the last point of the meridian of spleen pancreas. For you to see it a bit clearer. Another image. This is a real image. Spleen on the left, that's pancreas. The stomach is forward of it, and this is duodenum. This is the left, and this is the right. It's very important for you to imagine and see, because it's not one of the things that we do all the time. We always imagine how we are inside. And a thing that is also going to help you is imagine how it is. You never pay attention to it. So you're going to put your left hand under the ribs, going outside in the area where it is, and just take a moment and feel, imagine it. You have seen a lot of images. Just try to imagine how is feeling it now. Just try to feel it. You're like going to the spleen and pay attention how it is. How do you feel it? Maybe you don't, you cannot look at it or see it. You just see something too dark. Just accept it. Whatever you imagine is perfect. Do you feel it relaxed? Do you feel it tight? How is your spleen right now? Imagine as well how the arteries and veins arrive. Can you imagine if the blood is arriving properly or not? Or you cannot even imagine. Spleen depurates blood as a filtering system, as a defense system. Spleen is filtering as a defense, as kidneys filter to remove some liquids. Spleen, it's killing bacteria and pathogens. And if there is not enough blood, it's going to put more hemoglobin. Do you feel it working properly, free, or do you feel it tight? Now just move the hand a bit forward, just a bit, and imagine pancreas. Pancreas is the one balancing the sugar percentage in your blood. When there is a situation of stress, liver segregates sugar and pancreas compensates the liver work. You have seen the size of the liver and the pancreas. Pancreas is losing. So observe how do you feel your pancreas? Which color do you put in it? That's normal because you never did that exercise before. Just try to feel and allow yourself to be aware, to your ears open to listen what is telling to you. Take note of what are you feeling. Spleen and pancreas are related. Now go back to spleen and observe how they communicate. They are well communicated. If they are well communicated enough, you feel two different things, just one beside the other. Spleen is related directly with time and the hypothalamus, so it's connected directly with all the energetic system, with having enough energy and be protected. With the pancreas, both. If your stomach is sick, that's because there is a rejection. You don't have to do anything, just accepting. If my spleen is not working properly, that is because you are too negative, or my ideas are black and negative. Now with this time of the coronavirus, it's like being fixed and that everything is going to be a disaster, that everything is going to go bad, and you get obsessed that everything is black and all the difficulties that you have. And spleen has to be directly with all the self-hatred, because it has to be with the love and happiness flowing. If all the time you see yourself as ugly or not correct or not good enough, the organ that is going to fail is spleen. As much obsessed I'm with my body, that I'm not good enough, I'm not correct, or things are too negative, and I cannot let them go because everything is just fighting. And I don't want to do the mourning, and I don't want even to express my rage. It's because internally I nourish from rage, and I stop looking the happiness in life. And as much rage I have inside is going to hurt more the pain, the liver, and the much harder it is the liver, the more hard it is going to be the spleen. And when spleen and liver start to fight among them, sometimes you can see a black tongue. That is the extreme lack of love for the self, because you think that you are ugly or not correct or bad. That is because there is too much rage, too much anger. This rage, this anger, and being always eternally worried, not expressing it, is because suddenly there is nothing that gives me pleasure. There is nothing is a prize. When that happens, there is a dissolution. You have not strength enough to live. The feeling of emptiness is bigger, and you don't have resources to face things in life. Those are the moments that you are so much in your head, worried that you are not able to feel that inside of you can, with this situation, with the obstacles that appears in life every day. And the most screw is that outside you just laugh, but inside you are crying. It's like this duality that no one thinks about, because you are happy, but inside of yourself you only want to cry. And then some death potentials appears, and fear to death because of that loneliness and emptiness. It's like if inside you have a scar, just a bleeding scar. That blood is always happiness to life. If you have a scar, a bleeding scar, you are all the time losing this feeling of happiness in life. And the only thing it becomes is that life is a fight so hard. Internally, it starts just to get stuck, and it's so hard and hard that I just need to put my flag down and give up. And then you even exaggerate more all the negativity in your head, and it goes even more and more, harder and harder. All this mechanism that I just said is what affects the spleen. Breathe. How can we go out from here? We're going to work with the points. First, we're going to talk about the pancreas before, and then we're going to show how to work to unblock the energy and have all the resources. And one thing is the points, and another thing is the work that you have to do. When you have your spleen is hardened and you have problems in your spleen, it's important to do the morning, to accept things as they are, to communicate emotions. Because as the emotions as they are, not to mask them and behind a smile, for the body to be in balance and in harmony. And to work most of it, I love myself and I accept myself as I am. Stop projecting the rejection on the body. Stop comparing yourself with others. We only see the body of another person. Oh, if I was more on diet, and then you start pushing yourself, and that's not the point. It's loving yourself as you are. Breathe. Pancreas is the couple working in this system with the spleen. Is with the availability to express the love inside myself. The capacity to channel or manage rage without provoking pain outside or inside. When I am not exploding inside, but outside, but inside, I'm hurting my pancreas because I'm not managing this strength this force. Normally, pancreas always, when is affecting more us, has to be with family. When we do power fights, or I have seen pancreatitis because of last wheels, because of money. Lots of pancreas cancer is because I'm living a situation where I cannot swallow, that I judge or is not noble, and I'm so stuck with not working and accepting people as they are, that at the end there is so much self-hatred that pancreas cancer appears. Pancreas is related with the solar plexus chakra. So happiness, the happiness of living has to be as well with this chakra. So, for those who pancreas is working, for the pancreas to work properly, we need as well to work, a part of what we are working with the spleen, we need to be aware of the needs, the real needs, what's happening to me, how can I care of myself. The biggest fighting is when we have a belief that our parents has to take care of us, or my partner has to take care of me, and then we put our responsibility outside. And as I cannot get they to take care of me, what I look for is artificial stimulants to get drugs, food, sex. But in fact, what I need is to feel and accept that I am responsible of myself and I take care of myself. And it's a very big tantrum because we always want someone to save us, someone to do the job. And then, when they don't do it, we only project our disappointment. Is because the young child, the mother has to take care of him. No, because out of love is going to do it, but she doesn't have to. And you are 50 years old and you still wait for your mother to take care of you or yourself, or if not your mother, it's your husband or your wife. And that's the belief that someone else has to be here to take care of you. And that's humiliating. And it's an integration that you have to do it, because everything is going to be shown, because the kids has to be protected, of course, but you are responsible of yourself. Out of love, because a child has not experience. Out of love and compassion, you are going to take care of him, but not because you have to. And maybe your mother never take care of you, and it was your neighbor or your grandmother, but you are still fighting because your mother didn't, and you are waiting for her to do it. There is in a moment, your spiritual way, in your spiritual path, you have to sit and accept that the only person taking care of you is yourself. Normally I answer at the end, but this one, the fight is always because it's not as you wanted. If you are here, you have been taken care. If from the love perspective, and you are not waiting it to be the way you want, you can see all the love that has been taking care of you all the time. In your mind, you fix the objective. The question is that in your mind is not the way you wanted it to receive it, but if you look from the perspective, you can see that the love was always flowing. So instead of all the time waiting for someone to take care of you, what you are going to do is instead you are going to take care of the other because you can. And because it's so nice to take care, you are going to do it out of love. The moment you say, I am the one that has to take care of myself from my childhood to now, it's going to be a tantrum inside, and it's not nice. Something inside is going to be fighting, and you have to accept it. You have to accept that there is a part of you that knows that there is responsible, and there is a part that waits for the other to take care of you all this in the same way, to communicate with you the way you want. Each time you feel with your husband, your child, that they don't talk to you, they don't communicate with you the way you want, because they don't do what I want them to do. There is no family moment because they are with a phone or playing with the PlayStation, but you don't want to sit beside them to play with them. You want them to do this your way. That augments this negativity and this pressure in the spleen. If you want to connect with your family, with another person, you have to do. If you care, you are the one that has to connect, because the question is that you want to connect with them, and that's okay. And that's very difficult for all of us. Being with someone who is playing with the phone, and you're just beside them, and you are just in peace, accepting that the way that they want to be with you is that one, or you are telling them all the time, just leave the phone and pay me attention. That's hard, isn't it? It's because you are not with me, you are not paying me attention. Okay, but we are spending a good time. I'm just beside you. That's those small problems, a part of being in the food and everything else. But we are trying just to remove this lack of attention and cares. Of course, there are moments that they don't want to communicate. But if you want to communicate and you want to be with them, you just have to accept this way. Not the way you want, but the way you want. Not the way you want, but the way you can. Breathe. All that is this rage that everything is okay, but inside is eating inside. This is all those problems with diabetes and the spleen, a part of the food, of course. The more junk food is more toxic. The most you want to nourish yourself in this way, we hurt our pancreas and our spleen more. I just get thrilled. The only way to observe is what I'm doing is just to be observing myself. So far, when we do personal growth, you learn to see it, to look to the objective, and that's the way you train. You're going to learn how to know yourself and know inside yourself when the rejection appears, when something appears, when guilt appears. But if you don't know how to guilt taste, how rejection tastes, you don't know what is it. Which with each of those organs, we're going to work with something different. During this week, you're going to touch your points. You're going to be more sensitive what is happening inside of you, for you to discover. It's not bad if you do it out of guilt or love or fear of abandonment. It's natural. We are do it. We are done this way. But learning to express what you want or what you need, a lot of times is you are enraged because your daughter is not coming to you or giving you a hug, or your father. But at the end, who needs that hug? Your father, your daughter, or you? If you need it, just go and hug them. Why you don't go and you hug her yourself? Because it's weird for me. Of course, just express it. Now the one who needs a hug is me from you. And even more when once in El Paso a woman came, then when you could hug people. And I hugged the 80 people in class with all my love. This woman came, and when I hugged her, she told me, I have 3 daughters, and I never hugged them, and now I feel the wonder of a hug. But how can I hug them if they are 14, 15, and 16, and I never hug them? They are going to tell me that's weird. Yes, of course, accept that it's going to be weird. During 15, 16 years, you never hug them. Accept their reaction, but start to do it. 6 months after I came back to El Paso, and she arrived with the 3 daughters to the class, because the daughters wanted to know me, to meet me, because the family improved, because the mother learned how to hug them, and they had these hugs now, and they knew that moment how to hug them, because we are all the time waiting the other to do the way I want, or to imagine what I want without telling. Have you ever think that the other person at that moment just wants not to communicate, and the best way to not communicate is just for you to disappear? Breathe. Because that's the way, in that moment, this person wants your company, and that is not hurting you. You are the ones who wants to communicate with this person, but you want all the time the way you want, not how they want. And sometimes the better is just to go out, because it's taking care of the experience of the other and taking care of your own experience, not instead of staying there and making the rage rise and making the pain rise. Breathe. All that is what we have behind spleen and pancreas. They are quite together. If you can see all that during this week, you can work mainly that. All what I weigh the other to do things as I want. I never think that if I want a communication with the other, and I am the one who wants to communicate with the other, for the other is okay how they communicate. But if they are just listening to music, a patient told me, and a student talking about that, they were using Walkman. The daughter was with the Walkman, and she wanted to talk, and the daughter doesn't want it. Okay, if you just stay there with her and just breathe and observe whatever you're feeling, and you are just beside her, and if she talked to you about something, okay, if not, it's okay. At that moment, from time to time, the daughter said, "Oh, look at that song," and she put the woman to her. Half an hour afterwards, the daughter just stand up and said, "Oh, mom, that was a very nice moment, and we share a lot." And she said, "But we didn't share a thing." Of course, you just share what she loved at that moment. That song specifically, not what you want, because you just wanted to interrogate her. That's the question. It's not what you want. You share the way the other is open to share. It's not what you want to give or receive love. It's just accept how the other is. And it's not going to remove any love from you. And if that time, you need that time for you, why are not you just going away and taking a massage or taking a bath with a salt bath, or just rest with the music that you like, instead of trying? Just breathe. All that is what makes all this not taking care, but trying the other to give you something that he's not able to give or doesn't want to, is what is going to disappoint you, is going to attack in your spleen and pancreas. So with all that, we are going to the movements of the body for the muscles. In this one, the main is from the shoulder to the hip in the back. Breathe all. I'm going to show you the movement that it does. The back of the hand touching the hip, and the movement is that one. Back of the hand to the hip, and we try to separate the arm. We do one side, and then the other side, and then both sides. The name is latissimus dorsi. And feel. What do I feel with one and with the other? Do I feel it flowing? Do I feel them stuck? This one is the main one. At least we have to move that one. And now we're going to move middle trapezius. It's as well in the back, and it's the one from this position, palm looking back frontwards, is like making an applause. I do it with an arm, with the other one, and I see. And now for you to see the other one. The lower trapezius. The movement is making an applause on the top of my head. This is the movement. That movement. And triceps. Triceps does that. Is the elbow extension. We do that with the neutral hand, not turn. Palm looking towards us, and we move it and feel what does happen. If the muscle is the same flowing, or maybe there is a pain. It's just, if you can see some tension, that means that there is no freedom. And the last movement that we're going to look is that, to work is that one. Is the opponent thumb. do I feel that I have strength when I push? Hands has to be with how do I control the love, and arms with all the pressure that I do with love. It's as legs is how do I take my position in life, how I walk. Arms is how I manage love. Okay. Now we know already. Just think about a situation that you are obsessed or in negativity or with all we talk about, because we are going to move to feel. So now in the left side, if here is 5, 6 rib, you go to below in 7. There is an area only on the left. There is an area where it hurts. You have to find it. If here is the sternum, it is close to the end of the sternum. In this area, there is an area where it is in. It's like a lentil. You have to look like a lentil in there, and it's painful. If it's not painful, because unluckily, whoever is not in pain thinks that he loves himself a lot. No, it's of course it's a lot of in pain. It's the feeling of the eye. It's like if I'm going to touch that point to you, it's going to be very painful. You're going to do like little circles. I'm going to check if I can show you how it is. Here you have it. It hurts, breathe. All the pain that is in there is all the rage of not having what you desire, what you wish. And no one to save you, no one who takes care of you the way you want. If there is a power fight with your mother or your father, with your brothers, if there is a last will thing, even more. Just breathe, accept the pain that is in there. Don't fight it, don't make any strain, just breathe. Don't stop rubbing that point. The next point, I'm going to show you the next point. You have to look at it. It's complicated to find it. The internal part just above the knees is where we have to rub. It's another of the points that is very hurtful. We call it in Spain the cow bite. It's a bit inside of the knee. Rub it. It's very painful as well. Has to be with all that is inside of you, with all this disappointment of how I see love or sexuality. I am going to make it bigger for you to see how it is. That's the knee, just there. It's not as painful as the other one, but it's as well painful. Rub it willingly. You can rub one, the other, and both at the same time. There is a lot of emotional knots, a lot of blocks in there. How many appearance that everything is okay and amazing, and inside there's a lot of cry, not express. Okay. Breathe. Now, next point that we are going to do is touch your ears. Look at my ear. It's like 2 fingers above, with both hands, with pressing here. If you have a desk or anything to support you, stop looking at me and just be there, to not get tired. Make it comfortable for you. Because after all that rubbing, we have to breathe a bit and allow everything that is moving just to move and breathe. Just observe. With all I said, which toxical matter are you carrying in your life? You are making are you making your spleen and pancreas work too much? Are you staying just in the negativity obsession, or do you allow yourself to split it in things that you can swallow? In these points you don't need to rub, it's just to put the hands in there and stop. Maybe you feel it just to beat, because you are making the blood irrigation to augment, and that's perfect. Do you have enough sweetness in your life? Or do you feel that you have an excess or a lack? How is my dialogue? Do I accept myself as I am, or I'm all the time looking at myself as ugly, not enough? Why others and not me? Breathe, find which is this part, this negative part. Do you feel that you are just going from one side to the other, emotionally, physically, or spiritually? That you are trying to take too much? Or maybe you just need to open your arms to hug heaven. Or you feel that you need to catch something, or you feel that you are catching too hard something. What do you need to let go from your life? Which mourning do you have to do to split things in smaller pieces that you can manage? Just accept whatever appears. Remind yourself that spleen is the earth element. It's the element to feel nourished and protected. So what do I need to let go, which is toxic, to take care of myself? If were the place where you had more pain were triceps or latissimus dorsi, it has to be more with pancreas, with a power fight. If it's in the middle trapezius, lower trapezius or opponent thumb, it has to be with the spleen. It has to be with rage. Breathe. And just accept. What's the worst that can happen? If I accept love as the other one can give it to me, what's the worst that can happen? If I love myself and I take care of myself, or if in your head it says nothing, it's just your head, just stay there in your spleen, your pancreas, open to listen. Which is the rage, which is the anger, which is the mourning, what you have to let go. To open your arms to the heaven, to open your arms to love. The other one is not here to take care of yourself. The other one is not here to give to you. And you are not here for the other. It's not an obligation. When you do, it's because you have too much love. That the natural way is to do it because heavens does. Breathe. And just accept. Accept that all that you are looking at is the way that we are done. That's natural. Accept that even all the negative things, there are happiness moments and love moments. Even with all the darkness, there is light. Observe both. I love and I accept myself as I am, with darkness and light. I love myself and I accept myself as I am. Now relax your arms from your head and move them to your spleen and your pancreas, one hand each. Feel how are they now. I accept, I love and I accept myself as I am. I just regret all the pain that I caused myself. Look at myself as ugly. I love myself and I accept myself as I am. Because I am not just the body. Because I am aware that I am aware. So find in your spleen and the pancreas the origin, the vacuity. That vacuity point that transcends shape, and the one that is made spleen and pancreas. Feel it. From there, look at all the problems that you looked at them in before and observe the real value. when you are connected with your inside, with the source, you are in peace, you are protected, you are available, you are open. No one needs you to take care of them. You don't need anyone to take care of you. It's not need, it's out of love. Because you are so full that the only thing that you can do is take care. Not because the other one needs it, but because you can. Feel now your pancreas, your spleen. How do you see them? How do you feel them? How do you feel your body? Of course, we have to work this week. Of course. But now, which color has they? What do you feel? Which taste? Keep it there for it to be easier. And each time that you do the movements, it's only to anchor it and have it clearer. I love myself and I accept myself just as I am. And now if the last week you give to you any prize, if you couldn't find what, it's not because you are okay, it's because there is a rage inside that it prevents you to choose something. Now try to find something different from the last week, something easy, simple, cheap. It's a prize, it's giving love to yourself the way you want. I don't mind, I don't care if it's a foot massage, a hand massage, a face massage, just put some cream on it. And each time that you do that this week, or you do that this week, before, I love myself, I accept myself just as I am, and this is my prize, because I take care of myself. This is my prize, because I take care of myself. Because I love and I accept myself just as I am. I love my shadows and my lights. I love my reactions and my actions in all what I am. I love and I accept myself just as I am. Breathe. Just rub your abdomen. Caress your abdomen. Vocal breath. And now we're going to augment the energy, just drawing the meridian. The meridian. I'm going to put it in the screen. Drink a bit of water before, all of you. It goes. We touch from the thumb, the big thumb in the big toe in the feet, we move until the point where it touched the middle point between the hip and the elbow and the shoulder. Going down, we go up, and we go to here. Standing up is better than is doing exercise. We are in quarantine and we need to move. And the curve for you to see, it's not straight. It's a small curve there. And the last time, and now that we are standing up, we're going to do again the movements. How do I feel it now? How do I feel the movement now? Move the hands, and then medium trapezius. Lower trapezius, palms to the heaven, and applause in the heaven. And feel one side, the other side, one side, the other side, and now the hands. And now pay attention again. Just simply let it settle, all the energy, all we have moved, and observe your body. How do you feel now? Pay attention. Breathe. Observe how is your diaphragm. Now I just want you, just because of it, just put some smiling faces. Maybe if you don't want it, just do it. Just put your will on it. We are going to say Ram. Softly, happy faces, yellow happy faces, like emojis. With Ram, we activate the solar plexus. Which is connected with spleen and pancreas. Inside, as forward and backwards in your back. Breathe. Connect. Before you were born, which was your shape. After you die, which is going to be your shape, and from there. Aware of your solar plexus, of your spleen, your pancreas, which were they shape before born, which shape after death. One more. Breathe. Now just happy faces, smiling. Put a smile in your face even if you don't want to. And breathe. Being thankful because you could see more things. If there is pain, it's not because of the points. It's in yourself. Thanks to looking at it, you can take charge of it. You can feel this gratitude for yourself because you are here, because you are because of allowing yourself to feel and looking at it. Remember, there is nothing bad inside yourself. You just need to embrace it. Breathe. Feel that gratitude. Can you see that in life, even if the love didn't arrive as you wanted, it was taking care of you and you survived? You are full of love, gratitude, smiley faces. There is love, there is happiness. And even if you are doing the mourning of what you were expecting and what you have, even you had moments of happiness and love, feel gratitude because of it. Thousands of opportunities. You just need to open yourself, to open the pleasure, to feel the pleasure and happiness from in your daily life. Thank you. I'm going to stop the recording in Zoom. If you want to tell something, you need out just to take note. Now is the moment. The points are in pain because they are blocked. It's not because they are blocked or not. It's because it means that they are with blockings. To know that if they are blocks or not, there are ways to know if they are frozen or not. But if they are in pain, it's because there are an accumulation of emotions inside. Which emotions? The one that I commented before, the ones that they are blocked there, and a lack of self-love. Laura, when I contemplated that I'm responsible of myself, there was a pain in my left ear. It has to be with listen to my inside. There is a little fight because you are not accepting that you are responsible of yourself. You have to sit in that pain and accepting that which part of you are fighting. Is fighting. It's not denying this part. It's embracing, listening to it, for you to be able to transcend it. My brother is in a pancreas cancer. Can he do these exercises? Yes. But the question is that I have been working with cancer people. These exercises, the only thing is going to unblock the energy and the emotion for him to work on them. If he doesn't work as much as you rub the point, it's not going to work. If he works on the origin, it's going to help him a lot, and everything depends on him. There are no side effects, but he has to want, and knowing that the result, as you are not making the massage directly on the pancreas, there is going to be nothing to open the expansion, to expand the cancer. You are just making the blood and the energy to arrive more, and then as it's more full, you have more resources. But for that, he has to work on the motion that takes to that point. You can show him the video, but if he's willing to work. This is a tool for you to be in charge. If you do only the points, you're not going to improve if you don't do the rest. It's just a tool that helps you in your way. And there is a lot of people that they heal because you are helping your body. And there are people that for some people they are being shown things that they were hiding for a lot of time, things that they work on the emotion and the mind, but not in the body. Because of that, there is not that you are not going backwards. It's that we are unveiling memories that were in the physical body. Because of that, you need to be more constant. We are working a week per circuit. And when your problem is specific, not only because working on the pancreas, the last week I'm going to show you how to work with all at the same time to be sure that the energy is going to be moving through all the body. If he wants to look at the course, just invite him to the group or send him the videos. I'm doing it for the more people, the better. Lupita, I felt a lot of rage on myself. How can I remove it? Rage, to manage it, you have first to listen to it. That means make it to explode in control. Because if not, it's going to be inside, accumulated, just exploding inside all the time. It's like a bomb. What can we do? You have to allow yourself to yell. I have 2 videos in my YouTube channel, how to manage rage, in my YouTube channel, where I explain the technical. It's a judo technique. It's like putting it on the abdomen to make that rage explode. You make, with this rage, what you do is make the rage, the strength of this rage explode. For once this strength is gone, then you can integrate the disappointment of what you were expecting and you never had. You expect the world to be from another way, your parents, your couple. Then there is an accumulation of rage, and this is only the reaction to an expectation, a broken expectation, to a mourning that you have to do. But first you need to accept that is there, and you are not a bad person because you are in rage. If you have rage, it's just a fact that there is a very deep disappointment. So I need to find which is the mourning that I have to do. The left side was very light. The bothering was in the right side, like heavy. All the time, the right side has to be with manifestation or men. How I give love, or how I love myself in the process of giving love, because we are telling that spleen has to be with the love to myself, and is the side is how I love myself when I love others, and maybe there is no love to you, and that was you have to work on. Grace, pain in the liver from the beginning, and after the spleen, that's rage. There is an accumulation of internal rage, is what I said before for Lupita. Maybe it's helping you as well. Is to work on the specific rage. Those points is going to unveil whatever you need to work on and release. When we touch the pancreas and spleen, there was like an electric point from the big toe. That's the meridian. When that's happening, there is an alteration and a block, and you are completely connected. You just felt the whole meridian moving. When there is a cracking in your shoulders, it's a coordination among all the organs. When we are going to see all the wheel, we will see how to work in the whole system. I don't know what does that mean. It's like tingling. If with the problem with diabetics, it can improve, but it's not going to heal completely diabetes. That's very complicated because there is an affection in the pancreatic gland. There is a degeneration. To be able to regenerate a pancreas, it depends on cases on diabetes. But working on the emotion alleviates a lot. To not have a lot of crises and to be more balanced within the illness. Sometimes we cannot modify the illness or heal it because it's a karma that you have to go through, but you can reduce the effect and having a more normal life. Sorry. Sometimes there are things that we have to accept and going through them, and that's a disappointment that we have to look at. If the points in the knee were painful, has to be with the points in their knees means block emotions about pleasure and love and sexuality. Thanks, Steph, for sharing. At the beginning, everything was heavy, and then it just flew. The arms are still in pain through to the shoulders, but I felt that like if I was my mother. You have to observe if the question is that you had a rejection about how is your mother, or if you had the observation that you are your own mother, and that's true. We are our own mother and father, but you have to do the mourning with your parents in here, because you have your father and your mother inside yourself, and you are your father and your mother. You are the one that has to take care of yourself, nourish and protect yourself, and stop waiting the others to do it. I don't know if it's just that. Laura, the blocking in the throat, it appears as well because you are not expressing your emotions. Yes. The hardest is always when you have a friend or someone close, that a relative that is sick, and he or she doesn't, they don't want or they cannot at that moment, because maybe sometimes the best that they can do is just to prepare to die, and the hardest part is that the best that you can do to help this person is to work in yourself and accept their decision, because you cannot save anyone. No one needs you to save them. But of course, because you can, you're going to take care of yourself to take care of them. You work on yourself and then to the kid, for both of you to live. If all in life is the same. If you feel sick when you did the energy, if you feel sick, is because the energy is moving. When you feel sick, you need to drink water and do the switching that is in the Facebook group. It's a video. It's rubbing the lips, rubbing here, and all the time with the hand in the navel and changing hands. One hand, the other hand, and the other hand in the navel, and then another hand in the sacrum. I'm going to share it again this week on the top, but if you look for it, it's one of the first. The big toe has to be with the meridian. Etel says that it's in pain now, that thumb, that no toe. So it's because maybe there is a block in the meridian. So drink more water, and doing this week the exercises, you're going to see it to flow. It seems magic that you touch the spleen and pancreas, and then there is a pain in the big toe. With the last image, which is the meridian, what you are feeling is the meridian. Everything is connected. Of course, as we see ourselves big, we think that, but we go out from an egg, small like that, and in an egg, everything is connected. So everything is connected. With the exercises, I wanted to go B, because everything is getting disintoxicate, is detoxing everything. So just drink more water to help it. Gracias, thank you, Celian, for your question. Do you have to acquire to get the feeling of no pain in those points, or you have to accept that there will be always pain? You have to feel it as a test. Not one thing is discomfort. When I think it's a pain, it's not going to be always bad, because at any moment you're going to love yourself more and you're going to take care of your experience all the time, and with time that point is going to be in balance. It's not going to be painful, but it's going to be a bit discomforting. The objective is to not be in pain. The objective is, when you rub it, is to remove an 80% of the initial pain. This is one of the points that is always recommended, to check how it is, how I'm taking care of myself, not only the points in my life, when I'm angry with my relationship with others, when I believe that the other one has to do the things as I want. It's because I am not or maybe you have to do the things as they want. That's humiliating. Or sometimes you have to do the mourning of wanting to have a relationship with this person, or making the mourning of wanting this compenetration. That's important. Sometimes it's just going to that point. Sometimes it's just making the mourning of what you are wishing. If with that person you cannot, it's okay. It's what it is. The pain in the talon has to be with the kidney. We're going to go to it. I don't want to talk about it. It has to be with the tension of being here, with the fight, and the tension of being, of having to be. That you have to protect yourself. It's like the eagles, that you feel that you have to be in tension. It's a survival, fear, tension. It's at the end what makes the talon to be in pain. I try to be slow, but you do a lot for the people to be able to be in this teaching, and all the blessing that of the work that you are doing is for you as well. Thank you, Esteban. Alejandra, when the energy was moving, it's normal that the tongue get dark. Yes, in case you have a dysfunction in the pancreas, thing that we are unveiling all the potentials of all that is hiding. This class maybe is a bit hard for you, and it's normal. Just drink water and do all the points. It's not bad if it gets dark. I mean, what we are doing is digging to unveil all what is it in there. If after all this exercise it's not getting dark anymore, it's okay. If now it's darker, it just doesn't mean that there is rage and anger inside that is blocking the liver, and we're going to see it in the liver and the gallbladder and the spleen, spleen in pancreas as well. It's normal that it gets a bit affected. It's not that these points are affecting, we are unveiling for it to be clean. I think that's all. Thank you. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy the bootcamp with Shivagan and all that you are in the bootcamp, and we see next Friday at the same time. Get my blessings.